Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that sideways and up action on the Bitcoin chart, guys. If we do just take a look at altcoins, they are starting to pop off considerably over the last week or so. And so this does suggest that Bitcoin was just bullishly consolidating, okay? Usually when Bitcoin just bullishly consolidates, then altcoins really have their chance to run. And so, of course, while we were talking about consolidation and possible dips on Bitcoin, we weren't really talking about altcoins who are still playing catch up to Bitcoin's magnificent run. And if you do need a reminder, guys, of what I was saying in the last episode, let's just take a listen. And so, could we get a little bit more of a pullback down to the bottom of this pool, maybe around 36,500? Well, that's in the cards. And if we do lose 36,000, that would be our first kind of indication that we're probably going to retest that bullish control zone and see if we can actually hold it, maybe do a check back to this Bollinger Band midline on the daily here. But so far, guys, this just looks pretty good. And if we do capture the volatility pivot at 37,241 with some solid candle closure there on the day, then that would imply continuation as everything is just bullishly oriented. Looking back, all right, guys. Well, I just wanted to try to leave those levels up there because I can show you, of course, that I was suggesting that we could get a dip to 35,420, and that's precisely what we did. We did check back to that Bollinger Band midline over the last week. Based upon this video's prediction, I would suggested we were likely to have a check back, likely to retest that bullish control zone, and that's exactly what we did. We were limited by that volatility pivot being over our head. And now today, why am I making an update to this video? Because today we recaptured that volatility pivot. So of course it's time for a new video. And just as a public service announcement, I do want to remind you guys that currently we are in a bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market, fake out, bull market, guys. Every time we're above the Bollinger Band midline on the weekly, we are in a bull market. And yes, sometimes there's little fake outs, just like there's little fake outs to the downside. But again, guys, the Alpha Fam has been in this bull market ever since 16,000. We confirmed it at 17,000, and then we had macro confirmations here around 20,000. And so, guys, I hope that you have joined me on this journey. A lot of you have. There is a link to the Discord, our discussion forum in the description of the video below. Please do join. You're going to see just hundreds of charts of altcoins, and those have been making us massive amounts of money, 300%, 200%, 100% gains, just time after time after time. And so, guys, if you did stick with me since the bottom here, then you guys have just been absolutely killing it. Now, of course, a lot of latecomers are starting to come into the market right now. And they do tend to get punished in these markets, when they start FOMOing after they see all the early birds, get in down here and they start making a ton of money. Then everyone starts joining in at the top, and they think that we're going to go to, 200K Bitcoin, right? $1 million Bitcoin, right? Something like that, and just absurd ideas, and it just gets them to FOMO, and then that just incentivizes the market to have a pullback and liquidate them and just take all their money. And that's why we get these type of sharp pullbacks on these mid-cycle rallies, as the less informed money basically has their money taken away from them, and then the smart money uses that as rocket fuel for the real bull run that comes next, right? Or the bigger bull run that comes next. And so, guys, just remember that markets do operate in waves, and we do eventually have to come down off of our current wave. We just can't go up forever. And so always remember to take your profits. Don't be loyal to these coins. These coins will not be loyal to you. Put food on your table. Don't be a perma bull, and don't be a perma bear, guys. Okay, 20% pumps are nothing to sneeze at. That's a great amount of profit. And then, obviously, if you can get a dip greater than 50% on any asset, especially if it's somewhere around 70 to 80% dip on anything, then that's usually a pretty good value area, and that starts at that 50% dip. So, you don't want to take everything off the table, but you have to take some risk in order to get the rewards. Now, guys, let's just zoom into that daily. And as you can see, we do have a little bit of a rising channel here. We did identify that in the group. And of course, we've had a little bit of a fake out to the upside, a little bit of a fake out to the downside. And I call these things the shakeout fake out. Okay, it's a shakeout fake out, shakeout fake out. They shaked us up, right? They shook the baby. And basically, anyone with weak hands just got shook out of the market right there. And they're just basically exploring this channel. Okay, we're dead in the middle of this channel. So, what does that mean? There's no really good entry position just right here. What we would like to see is come up to this channel. Then maybe there's a potential for a short, or we would like to return to the bottom of the channel. Then maybe there's a potential for a long, right? Or of course, what everyone's looking for is the potential for a breakout, and then that could take us perhaps to anywhere from $39,000 to $42,000. At which point, I would say this chart is getting pretty overcooked, and we could imagine that we would probably have a pretty nice pullback from there just to shake out this market. Doesn't have to happen, right? We could just stay really bullish. We could get some exciting news or something. I don't want to be a bear or anything. We are in an uptrend, but just to be aware, those things can happen when you get overheated. The smart money, they just want to wait for pullbacks to get a good value re-entry after taking a little bit of profit because they're smart. They take their money and put it in their pockets, okay? They don't just leave it in the market. The reason why the markets have cycles up and down is because they're smart money. They take money out of the market, put it in their pockets, and they don't buy back in until the market dips, right? And then when they find a value area, they buy again. That's how they take your money. Guys, if we do just go ahead and take a look at our previous pool, what I showed you in the video there, you can see that, again, just the alpha fam is absolutely killing it, guys. And what I was saying in the video was that very likely that volatility pivot would be overhead resistance on that day. It was. If we got sent to the bottom of the pool, we did get sent to the bottom of the pool, that we would likely test the bullish control zone. Hey, we checked the bullish control zone. And then we would probably also check this Bollinger Band midline. Hey, again, we did check that Bollinger Band midline, got a nice bounce off of it, re-entered our channel, and so currently we just reclaimed that pool. But kind of interestingly, we also acquired the volatility pivot, which we were having a real struggle to hold on to up here, just up and straight down, right? And also just straight down over here. But here we're actually capturing it. And so that's the purpose for this update today. Guys, I do think that I'm leading you in the right direction. Ever since the bottom of this market for one entire year, the Alpha Fam has just been absolutely killing it. And also, guys, I did give a warning somewhere around 55K on the way up that we were likely to have a major pullback at 70K. And then at 60K, I said, get out of the market, absolutely. So I was protecting the Alpha Fam at the Pico top and also protecting the Alpha Fam at the Pico bottom. And I do hope that you take the time to help to try to understand my strategy because I have just been making you guys money basically for free for almost 2 to 3 years. So guys, thank you for joining me in the group. Again, the link is in the description of the video below. Just your company helps motivate me to keep going. If you like this type of analysis, please do continue that motivation. It just gets really lonely just trading in front of your own computer screen. And so to have those friendly voices and to share those insights, that's that sense of community that really makes work feel worth it. Now, guys, you can see that on our current setup for the day, we are above the bullish control zone still, which is now at 37,066. As long as we don't lose that, I can't be anything but bullish on this, especially since now we are additionally supported by the volatility pivot, which is at 36,926, meaning our bias is to the upside. And so if we do over the next few days, maybe this next week, end up getting a push up to this 38,762 zone, we will be looking to see if we can break out of that and then break out of that channel and perhaps even go higher. Should we get just rejected at the top of the channel again, right, as we have multiple times before, then we could re-enter the pool and then we might lose that bullish control zone or the volatility pivot, and we could check the neutral point of control, maybe check the big alpha energy line somewhere between $35,000 to $33,000, and then losing that big alpha energy, which could send us all the way back, we might recheck the bearish control zone and just kind of explore that really high value area, right? That that the smart money likes to buy if they can ever get it. So this is going to be kind of our buying range, personally, $33,000 to $30,000. And we're just at risk of dropping if we're below 35,000. So you do have to be on your guard even at those lower levels, because you never know what's going on in the world, and we could drop even further. Guys, but right now we are just bullishly oriented. We are butting our head into this general continuation level that is the MACD traders. Okay, the MACD traders just don't believe we're bullish unless they get ahead of this line around 37,683. But I think if we just grab that, then we probably are going to get sent to the top of my pool, which is a little bit smarter than the MACD. Okay, not to toot my own horn there, but my strategy is a little bit better than what those MACD traders use. And of course, if we lose our hold momentum, then we could have just a check back to the bottom of the pool. Since we are in the middle of this range, again, there's no really clear idea. Are we going to pump up first? Are we going to check back to the bottom of the channel first? Either is just as likely as the other, okay, when you're in the middle of the range. And that's why this is not an ideal spot to trade off of. But should we get a dip, right, like this, just kind of recheck that volatility pivot and then re-enter the pool, I would be interested in longing off of that and seeing if we can break out this time. That's what I'd be looking for. And then on the RSI, we're probably going to be pretty cooked here, having essentially blazed through the critical control zone and essentially just coming back to the bullish control zone, which is, it's all very bullish, but we may be losing a little bit of momentum there on the RSI. And so could we check back to the neutral point of control or the bearish control zone next? Yeah, that tends to be the order of operations, right? Get into that kind of critical zone, start to break down to the bullish control zone, and then get to the neutral and then the bearish control zone before you push up again. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the chart, just you may need to do a little bit of a reset. We're starting to head into that time period, maybe in the next month, maybe next half month or whatever, where we're probably going to butt our head on something important and then just get a pretty deep value pullback, okay? It doesn't have to happen if we go parabolic for some reason, but usually it happens that way, and I'll keep you informed, Alpha Fam. Let's see. We can also take a look at the Stoke here. You can see same thing with the Stoke. We were in that critical zone, just super bullish, broke down, retested it bearishly, but still in the bullish control zone area. That's why we're still pushing up. And now we're just losing that bullish control zone. We're rechecking to the bullish control zone, so there is a chance that we can just push up for one last thing, but it's probably going to be the death blow that's just going to send us back to the middle of this Stoke. And then of course, we do have a little bit of volatility that's just kind of keeping us pushing to the upside. So I'm not going to bet against this move. I'm not going to short this move. I'm just going to wait for it to burn itself out, let the volatility reset, and just see how does the RSI and the Stoke and some of these other indications look like when we've had three drives, three big drives of bearish divergence, which you can see here on the RSI, bearish divergence. And then if we make another higher high here, but a lower high on the RSI, that's going to be a third major drive of bearish divergence. That's usually the death blow to a chart. It just brings it back down to a value area because it's just super overheated. It's kind of a standard thing. Guys, I think I'm going to end it there. You guys are doing just fantastic, and thanks for joining me on this journey. Again, would really appreciate if you joined me in the Discord and shared some of the insights that you have, shared some of the new coins, maybe what's going on Solana, those sort of things. And of course, I go over hundreds of altcoins in the Discord. So if you like this type of analysis for Bitcoin, you're going to love it for altcoins. Guys, that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.